Please put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue, please. Moderators, put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Hello, moderators. Can you please put me in the queue? Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Oh, hi, Issa. How are you?
Hello, Meme.
Hi, I'm listening to Bussy go crazy in Abby's room, and it's very toxic.
What are they fighting about?
He just keeps screaming about Nora and how Zach had sex with a tranny.
Who is Nora?
Abby, Alpha, Julian, Zach, and Beatrice, aka Bussy.
Exactly. Be all you want, Zach. Bitch ass.
Well, that is amazing.
Oh, hey, Issa.
Hi, Issa.
Hey, Pussy. Oh, Zach is here. Hey, Zach.
Did you hear me fighting with Zach?
No, I just came in the room.
I am the bridge that unites all worlds.
Zach.
Welcome back to the room, Zach. You are in a safe space where I can control this. Ooh, they kicked me from the room. What'd you,
Of course
Zach?
I did.
Zach, what did you think about my positive vibration mantra? Put me in the queue. Put
Oh,
me
he
in
left
the
now.
queue, please.
Nobody wants to be with you today, I mean. Oh, he's back.
Check. Wait, so did you hear the blender or no?
I heard that room. It was
No, I
just.
didn't. I just came in the room right now.
Was it loud and annoying?
I don't know. Meme knows.
I
don't know.
I had the volume turned down and I was just repeating over and over again. Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please.
Yeah, that's what he was singing when I came in the room.
Here, I'm gonna do it again. Tell me if it's. Tell me how loud it is. Was it loud though?
Yeah, it's loud.
Okay, alright, cool.
Are you saying that Issa's always cooking and clinking when she has her rooms?
But I don't use the blender.
It was the only way I could drown out Bussy. It was the only way. And I happened to be using the blender at the time, so I took advantage.
He's intense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the energy to match him like that. I can't. He went on for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Why was he roasting you about it?
I think he has a crush on me. That's what I think. I mean, that's what I think.
Don't be so arrogant, Zach. Not everybody has a crush on you.
Well, he said he was going to rape me.
Well, but nobody has to have a crush on you to rape you.
All right, well, that's
Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please. Oh my gosh, look, it's my cousin.
Who's your cousin?
On a dating
Alex?
app. No, on a dating app. I'm on Hinge.
Oh my God, Zach!
Put me in the queue. Put me in the queue, please.
I forget what we were talking about before he came in, but, you know, it is interesting how there are some people who have the ability to, as soon as they enter a room, basically immediately derail any conversation that's happening, center themselves, hold the attention, and basically that is the next hour of your life if you stay in that room, you know?
It's intense.
But why did you go into that room if you don't like them?
I was in Edmund's room, and then he was talking with Abby, and I usually like to go into the room where there's more people, you know, to try to feel like we're in a collective space, and then Bussy came, and then that was that. That was the end of it. Put me in the queue, please.
So why does he hate you?
Because I'm a nigger faggot, Kike.
Ooh.
Tranny fuck.
Is that what he was calling you?
Yeah, that's what he calls me every time he sees me.
Because I'm a nigger faggot, Kike. Tranny what?
Tranny fucker.
I'm just letting you know if I can hear that fucking Guatemalan bitch.
Like what? That doesn't add any more pain to an already
I'm not gonna hold my tongue when you
let him in, Abby.
How's your sister?
I know, but you're already listening to the nonsense of Bussy versus Resistance versus Randy versus Simon.
Were they all in the same room?
No, but hypothetically, you know. Lucy. Look, Issa, that could be your twin.
Okay, I'm the bridge that unites all world. We are now in the Peppa Meme podcast movie room. I've re-bridged the conference call. Let's try to have some peace and positive vibrations for everyone. Love now, joy now. 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 Love now, joy now, love now, joy now, love now, joy now, love, joy.
When I open a room, and all of the clubhouse comes Bitcoin and Jewish and Crowley and I'm
Love now, joy now, love now, joy now, love now, joy now.
Fucking Zach is a fucking stupid ass bitch. No wonder he's
Love now, joy now, love now, joy now, love now, joy
Where did
now.
Zach go? Oh my God, Zach, stop doing that.
Oh, he runs away.
What? I was trying to see if I could go in that
Zach
room.
runs away.
Don't. Just stay here.
Oh, why? Because you're
Kicked
a
me
fucking
out.
faggot.
What's he?
Yeah.
What's he kicked me out?
Love now, joy now, love now, joy now, love now, joy now, love now, joy now, love now,
Yeah, but he has like
joy.
30 accounts.
Okay,
Did you go back in?
they kicked me.
I imagine. Oh, they kicked.
Oh, they kicked her again? Beatrice, is this Bussy?
Yes, I imagine. See, look now, Exhibit A. All right.
Why?
Set your
You're
clocks.
so scared?
Set your
Why?
clocks.
You're scared,
Who is
bitch?
scared?
Why? Because Zach is all fucking
You kicked-
irritated.
Somebody kicked
Who
me
is
out of that
scared?
room. Somebody kicked me out.
Hold on, who is scared?
I didn't get
Yeah,
you.
I was
was
listening
demonic, man.
happily to your endless abuse, but then I was booted from the room.
Yeah, obviously you were fucking making right noises, so they removed you, bitch.
Well, you were doing something equally annoying with your mouth.
Yeah, because I was talking and you couldn't handle
Exactly. That's my point.
it. You were too busy to handle it.
I was in a smoothie in a blender anyway.
No, you couldn't.
No, you were screaming in my ear about
No, I was having.
tranny fucker.
Yeah, how you fucking make how you cater to a psychotic and how you fucking you were fucking sympathizing for a psychotic bitch.
Oh, because I was sympathizing with her.
Yeah, and I told you, people like you on
I'm a
this
very
platform.
sympathetic person.
Yeah, hold on. Why are you sympathizing with a criminal?
Me?
Exactly.
Because I'm a very sympathetic person.
Oh, bullshit. That's why I said you men on this app
I'm
are
sympathizing
fucking
with all three of you right now.
Do you want a piece of that dirty ass? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm on this app to connect with people. I have the opportunity to connect
Yeah, dude,
with her.
but not criminals.
Well, no, half the people on this app are criminals. JB, Resistance.
Who is JB?
Ish. JB, hey, good morning, Issa.
Oh,
Hey, let's go
yeah,
to
yeah,
Issa
yeah.
really quick. Hold on, Issa, hold on. Let me say good morning. Is that good? Yeah, hey, good morning, Issa.
You don't even have to mute up. You don't even have to mute up. You don't even have to mute up. I'm just asking a question.
No, you don't have to mute up. I just want to have a conversation. Yeah, you don't have to mute up. No, Ish told me that he would rob me in the alley of a staircase. He would, like, I'd rob you. Yeah. I mean, he's gone anyway.
Resistance was in jail too.
There you go. I'm sure there are more.
Have you been
Madonna. I've been to jail for a night.
So you have a criminal record too?
No, it was in New York City at the time. You could get arrested for marijuana 5 times before it would make a stamp on your permanent record, and I only got arrested for marijuana 1 time.
Wow. What about you? Have you been to jail? Not to jail, in jail.
No. I mean, I don't know if you call a psychiatric hold in a hospital jail, but that's essentially jail.
What? Were you in a psychiatric ward?
Yeah, because I was being irascible in the hospital.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you were being irascible as hell.
Yeah, this veteran.
You were being what?
Irascible.
What is that?
Well, on Clown House, many rooms are ESL rooms for non-native English speakers. Irascible.
What is ESL?
English
as a second language. Irascible, because, Edmund, you realize we are now in an ESL language class, whether you want to be or not. Unbeknownst to you, or perhaps you were aware of Because you're here and you're asking me what is the meaning of this word, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to teach you some English. I'm going to teach you English for free. I'm going to teach you free.
No, teach me English for free. I just want to know what that word means.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you it's a good word to know. Irascible. It means having or showing a tendency to be easily angered. Quote, an irascible man. So irritable or quick-tempered. However, I think our clown house, Edmund has taken to use the word irascible. It's also in the Tanya, is it not? When you're in the toilet sometimes, they say,
تشيط علينا وحتات So I don't know if you heard the news, but Jazzy and Oscar are having a big Nora Diego roast on Tuesday, FYI.
I don't understand why it's bad to be sympathetic to Nora.
Because she's a criminal
Why is it bad to have sympathy for criminals?
because she's disgusting.
What do you think her punishment should be?
I think she should be kept in the psychiatric ward forever.
She should be in the psychiatric ward forever and nobody should be allowed to speak for her?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, what about this? Yeah.
Hold on, you asked me, but let me answer. I think she should be kept in a psychiatric hospital forever and receive visits from the people who love her, who I don't think are named. She has been in jail like 3 times.
Oh, really? For what?
One time for, have you studied when we seek a policeman?
I don't know. Hitting a police? Assault on a police officer?
Assault on a police officer. That's what he's going to do. And she also has been put out of supermarkets because of yelling, I am Hamas, I am Hamas.
Oh, so she's crazy.
She's unsafe for herself and for other people. Those who go kaboom.
Yeah, she's a dangerous person. I think she's a jihadist, Jane. I was gonna say that I kept telling her yesterday, I was like, oh, Issa had to get an attorney because you committed defamation against her. And she kept talking about FIFA and how she's reporting you and shit like that. She's a very maligned person, you know, misaligned and maligned. She's malignant. She's a malignant person. She's very, very fucked up.
I mean, I am not scared of what she's gonna do because also honestly, like, confrontation stuff is like anything that I can overcome anytime, you know? Yeah, I think that this thing that she's gonna blast on me because I said that I think Palestinians were animals in the sense of October. And I think that yeah, so it's a disgusting culture and that they what I want. And I was saying that was the food. I was like boring her. And it clearly made an impression. So she recorded me and now she's saying that she's going to send this recording to FIFA.
I think the worst. Wait, can I just interrupt and say that I think the worst thing about even saying her name and talking about her is like the fact that I film all this. You know, she watches all this and it like feeds her inner demon. And so that's why I say it's like I think it's important to try to disrupt the communication and just try to send back positive vibrations even to her, because I don't want to have like a guilt consciousness, you know, because she can say
she kills herself or something.
Yeah, that or something else, meaning that like I do
or
want
hurt someone.
I mean, again, I don't want to go back into negative speech about essentially anything because you know.
Well, that's why I was trying to be nice. I mean, that was my point to both
No,
you
but
guys.
it's not. No. One thing is not feeding into it, and another different thing is like being nice to someone that is just happy, and that shouldn't even be in society. And I don't know. Just saying that just for clarification. So I don't care. Like I don't care about what. Like good luck finding what email message talking with 10,000 emails from FIFA. Number one. Number two, if she ever sends anything, like she has a criminal record, she's crazy, she's all over the place. Who will want to even open anything from her? It's just absurd. And third of all, I mean, like, yeah, like if she can touch me, you know. But I did speak to my legal advisor, and yeah, good luck with her trying to get into Switzerland. Just in case, you know, because you never know how crazy these people can go.
See, the thing is, I mean, I know you guys have serious beef. So
I don't
thus,
have any serious beef with her, but she's threatening
no,
me
not you.
in
I'm saying
public.
her. She's crazy. I mean, that you're 100% in the right. Like that whole X thing is beyond insane. I mean, didn't she mention you on her profile?
Yeah, she mentioned me in
Yeah.
my profile, and she threatened me in writing, which is very stupid. I mean, she's not a smart person, but threatening someone in writing, it's the stupidest thing you can do.
Yeah, so anyways, I mean, you're in a good place. I mean, she's in a bad place. And so, you know, even though she's like insane, and you know, the point is I would try to just like repel it with positive vibration communication, literally. But like at the same time, I mean, I think blocking people and, you know, having barriers, boundaries, gates, fences, you know, 100-foot steel walls with 50 caliber machine guns on top and rocket launchers is always a good idea for people that you really want to essentially, you know, ghost. And, you know, the thing is they're both facing jail time. And so, you know, when push comes to shove, you know, people who
Who
are
is them both?
Robert Taylor and his jihadist Jane, you know, psychopath, Nora Bandora. So, I mean, I've heard Diego say things to her like they're hacking your phone. They put you know, like they're bugging your phone. Like that type of communication to her is very dangerous and sick. So it's like you're witnessing real mental health deterioration, real stress, real anxiety, and you know, it's not pretty. And therefore, I mean, I just got to say, read a book and go to the gym, fatty.
Yeah, and I already told Diego he shouldn't be doing this shit because these people are sick, you know. He's not the first one, the first 50 who does that too. And he might think it's funny, you know, but this person is very unstable in their minds, and feeding that fantasy and that hatred can never end well. You can't control people. I don't want to control people, so just let them.
Mike,
Let them do whatever the hell they want.
Mike, you know, I want to say hello to you. You know, thanks for giving me good advice on my videos the other day. You're the only one who could actually have a real communication. So cheers to you, sir.
So,
Are
you talking to Mike? Yeah. What did you hear?
Meaning that.
Hang on, I gotta turn my head. I was all the stuff that he records and stuff. He had put together this like little clip with like a still image and one of the recordings, and he was talking about the possibility of actually turning some of the goofy stuff in Clubhouse into something that could like resonate in social media and have some kind of like gathering. And I think it's completely possible that it could happen, for sure, if it was done, you know, a certain way. And I just gave him some advice for like the idea is, I think, super solid. He just needs to do it a certain way, and he hadn't done it quite that way yet. And just gave him some advice about it.
Very nice.
It's basically like about taking. So imagine imagine that you take moments from Clubhouse, short clips, talking like anything from like 3 to 15 seconds. And you have the back and forth with the two characters, and then you animate them. So you have a goofy, like, cartoon character animated to the voice, and you just capture that 10, 15-second back and forth and whatever subject it is, and then make little snippets like that and put them on TikTok as back and forths. Just like little moments. Keep them short and sweet, and have the animations be funny. And you could probably do it through AI at some point with the animation part of it. But it has to be animated.
Some guys in the Bitcoin rooms do that, and it's still very...
Right, and so that would totally take off on TikTok if it was done right. If you pulled the right moments out of here with different people.
They have the cartoons move their mouths as their voices are sounding.
Exactly, you have to have that lined up, right? Yeah, but I think there are apps that do it, and if you did that, you'd start developing characters. So like Jazzy would be a character, right?
Yeah.
And every time she's on there, she looks the same, so they start repeating the same characters. You could totally build.
Yeah, because this Bitcoin hack gave it to me. Let me look for it, and I'll give it to you because it's easy to do it. You just like choose the characters and the background, and then you just add the voice, and it just recognizes, and you say which voice is which character, and then they start moving their mouths.
See, that's right. That this is it. What she's about to give you, this is what you need. Because, I mean, something as simple as just recording people on here, both the time to do it and then finding the parts that you want to pull to be funny, that's something I'm just never going to do. So, but I think you've already done all that work, and all you got to do is go find the little hits. And those hits, keep them short and sweet, but they make them, make them funny, make them outrageous. Take the obnoxious ones. I mean, it worked really well.
Back and finding the hits, just move forward in the future, and when you hear a good one, just think, "Ooh, that one, I'm going to do it now."
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you want to get started, you could spend your off time going and finding a couple, decent ones to hit. But you're absolutely right. You could start it today and pull out one thing a day. It'd be really good, especially with like the Trump impersonators that are on here sometimes, or you hear somebody who's good at that kind of stuff. That'd be a really good example. Recording a lot of that stuff and then throwing that on there with a little Trump animation. That would work well. And if you can do impersonations, if you can capture impersonations, I think that would go pretty far as well.
So it's a real slow grind. I have a friend of mine who has a cousin who's a successful YouTube personality. It's called Vicky Comedy. And I know how many years she has put into it. She's got like 1.5 thousand views, 100,000 subscribers. And it's just a labor of love, but like she seems to have, created a successful video creation business. And I just know how much of a hard, long grind it is. And the point really is, there is no point in many ways. Like you could just keep grinding and grinding, and it's just very difficult to achieve on YouTube. I think that's just a fact. If you could automate it,
for sure.
You can do it at scale.
I would do TikTok before I do YouTube for something like what I was talking about, though.
No, I agree with you. I did take your advice, and I immediately went to TikTok and started creating there. Yeah.
But you're right. I agree with you in that respect. And honestly, everybody that succeeds at these things, what they don't really tell you is that these people are doing these things because they want to do these things. And the success comes in over a long period of time if you get lucky along the way with little luck. As an add-on. It's like you do what you love or you do what you enjoy doing, and then you start making money for it later. Like you can't do it for the goal of making money off of TikTok or whatever that goal is.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous. You have to enjoy
the
process.
If you start with love and you go all the way through it with love, like hopefully the love rewards the love. It's a smart way to do it, and it's essentially authenticity. It is essentially authenticity.
Yeah. It's honestly what I did for my photography career, and it worked. It still works well. I mean, any of the leads I get today, I haven't do any advertising. It just works. To give away your secrets, in other words, share the knowledge of what you learn along the way. If somebody was to see your work and say, like, okay, it's like, what app do you use to animate those? Like, you don't keep that to yourself. You share that willingly, because the chances that person's going to go out there and actually do the work that you're doing to even remotely compete with you and then be some kind of burden to you in the future, so nil and far between, that the karmic payoff, you know, for doing the deed of just sharing your knowledge with somebody else who asks you is well worth it. I think I've never ever worried about that.
Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a.
So if you click that link above, memespodcast.com, it's just another Tumblr account with videos that I've created. There's a lot of Elon Musk on
So
there.
did you put that link? I didn't see. So did you put a link to whatever app they're using for that, or how are they doing it?
No, not yet.
I was because I was just sure that one exists. I had an idea of where to find it, or I didn't bother to look for it, but I knew that there's probably something out to do that.
Can you?
I just have to look for it into my apps because I deleted it from my phone, but I must have it in my iPad. And I know about this because the Bitcoin guys do, well, there are a couple of Bitcoin guys that do this type of memes, and it's hilarious. And they shared it in a chat we have, but then they deleted the chat. So I just need to look for the app, and if not, I am going to ask them. But I will get it out.
Yeah, I think what we're underestimating is how crazy Clubhouse is. Like, outside of Clubhouse, I mean, I've been here so long now, I'm kind of numb to it. But if you go outside of Clubhouse to regular human beings, and if you were to present any of the ridiculous shit that's said on here, between Jazzy and somebody else when they're going off on each other or something, it's so incredibly outrageous that it will really, really resonate as either funny or shocking or both. You know, it's gonna. I think it's gonna have more of an impact on a normal human than we think it would. And we seriously get none of that shit here. Because she's obnoxious as fuck. When she goes off on somebody, you throw a little bit of the racist conversation in there, throw some of the Jew stuff in there, throw just talk, in best case scenario, test the subject matter. So here's the subject matter about Jews. How far does it go?
Yeah, I think making this app into like a 15-second South Park clip would be invaluable in reframing the app, and really, because it's like an inside joke, but the people watching it will think it's scripted, but we'll know that it's not necessarily scripted. So it's really like a psychological observation into toxic narcissism and low IQ vibration. If you have the time, Sarah, I know you got a baby, but like the time is now. You could help Meme Podcast create some videos. We could have, an American UK media production company, because the Brits put out some of the most amazing artistic, funny stuff like that. I don't know if you know that puppet show that was like long running now, Boris Johnson and Obama and Trump. Like that puppet show to me is like one of the most amazingly funny and artistic shows I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about.
Shema Israel.
Yeah, I pinned the link to that show. It's called Spitting Image. It's very funny. Mike, you might like it. You've probably seen it already, but they're not doing them anymore. Looks like 2 years ago was the last time they produced something, but I'm pretty sure that's out of the UK. But yeah, my AI image videos, like the thing is, the algorithm maxes out your views at 500, unless I believe like it's kind of picked, or somehow the algorithm overrides it. But it takes forever to get a lot of views. I have one YouTube account that I can't get into that has 4,000 subscribers. It's this $1 a date website where top videos have like
Is
millions
it my
of
mic?
views.
I think your mic is going in and out, or it might be my headphones.
No, it's definitely him. I'm not hearing it either.
Is this any better?
Yeah, that sounds better.
That's better.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta close the app because I think you use other apps or whatever, and then, anyways, yeah, YouTube's just a lot of work, man. But this Pepe mask thing, I think I am gonna create more videos with this Pepe mask on and try to push the meme brand across all these accounts that I have and totally rebrand everything. But the Elon Musk, Adrian Dittman stuff is really still interesting because like he is like, I don't know, it's hard to keep up with him because it's like after a while it becomes too much, but he's man, it's big things are happening, I believe, in terms of like Elon Musk and what he's doing. But if you, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have so many videos of him like high on ketamine that it's like a trip to know what he's doing. But a lot of these videos are on this memes podcast, but it's all just adriandittman.com anyways.
He does work. Does he do some work?
Yeah, I mean, he's not using his X account anymore to do rooms because he believes in cognitive security now. He's got 257,000 subscribers. He posted 6 hours ago. 12 hours ago, he wrote, "Computer used to be an occupation, now it's a machine. Sorry, but the human sacrifices will stop." That's 13 hours ago. Journalists cluelessly reacting to memes is a meme of its own. He's big into memes because essentially it's compression, and it also allows you to avoid lengthy conversations, and you just meme, He's controlling his communication now in a way that he was not before, which is a good thing. It is essentially stops leaks and it's cognitive security, meaning like he's actually, a leader, or he's in with the White House, meaning if he was to go on X and still continue to do the conversation in the way that he's been doing, he jeopardizes his network internally. So he can't continue to do what he was doing. Thus, every night for months I was recording him. And so like now I don't have him to record every night because he's actually being more responsible.
Do you think that he gave a Nazi salute? Do you think that he's a Nazi?
I would say that was so strange, but
that was a really like Nazi-looking salute, I would say.
It's because he kind of did a position to attention first, where he it was like when you do that salute, it's like a pop. You know what I'm saying?
You said doo-doo. But yeah, when you doo-doo, yeah, it's like a pop. Right, I know. It's like, and you snap to it. I know. I thought it was a Nazi thing. I mean, it looked pretty Nazi to me, but I don't know.
I don't think it's Nazi. I think he's just autistically awkward and weird. And I think it's just, if you're not in the military and you don't do a formal salute, what else do you do with your hand? That it kind of communicates the same concept of yes, sir. Like I think his autistic retardedness just like avoided a proper salute, and that's kind of what ended up happening without the actual intent. That's how I took it.
Most likely. I mean, but even the Steve Bannon. See, the thing is, I never saw the Steve Bannon one that the news claimed that he did. Did you actually see the Steve Bannon recently do it? And then I've even seen, there's.
Yeah, I saw the Steve Bannon video as well. I thought that also looked like a Nazi.
I feel like if Steve Bannon did it, it would be deliberate in a way that I think I would separate those two. I think I would not think that Steve Bannon would do it in the same autistically weird manner that Elon Musk would, just because Steve Bannon is not the same personality type. Elon Musk might mirror Steve Bannon.
But do you
like
think
if the people around him are doing that shit, he might do it without thinking twice about it.
But do you think they are intentionally doing it because they know it's a meme and that it'll go viral, and therefore they intentionally do it because they're at a level psychologically where they want to go viral and they know it'll go viral and they do it? No, because I listened to Elon, he had so much guilt about it. Like he was fucked up for like days.
You know, and it's kind of an anti-European thing to do because the Europeans are so much more sensitive about it than even we are as Americans. As this pro-America, fuck the EU idea, it kind of fits that mentality. It's going to shock and awe the Germans especially, and probably the English and the French, but like in America, we're America, we don't give a fuck. It's got a little bit of that to it as well. Doesn't mean the same thing over here.
So anyways, this is the Pepe Meme Podcast, where I have 10 YouTubes, 2 X's, 3 clown houses, and we're just sitting here relaxing because honestly, I know what goes on in all these rooms. I can look at the hallway and already anticipate what people are saying and thinking and doing and how they're not really executing anything throughout the day by sitting there and having these, long, boring conversations, whether it's even a new news article or some kind of update. There's really no creation happening. So I'm big into creating, and I feel like YouTube is really a long-term business. And the interesting thing is I really like, essentially doing storage or creating a library, meaning like we're all going to disappear, but if you left something behind, which is essentially a memory or a storage or a video, you're actually doing a good service, hopefully to future humans, because what you're doing is creating a compression, and the higher value compression, the greater the likelihood that future people will utilize it. So I feel like Clown House is not a valuable compression for future people, but essentially, if you capture 100 million hours of footage, you can compress it to 1 hour, and then you get your best stuff. And so it takes a tremendous amount of volume or quantity to find, the needle in the haystack and the golden nugget in the pile of dung. I don't think there's any other way to look at it, because everybody's life is the message, and that life message creates an index and a bell-shaped curve, and just 1% of your entire life could be valuable to future generations who might consume it for their benefit, if that's possible. So hopefully some of the things I've done has not all been in waste. But I will say this app is extremely vain. If everything is vanity, this app is the epitome of vanity. Narcissism, toxicity, vulgarity, abuse, projection. To me, that's always the big one. Is projection is the big takeaway. Is that this app is almost pure projection, like all the time. It's so dysfunctional and chaotic and chaos. It's crazy. The bang rooms are like something you've never heard before, and our clique, the people everybody here in this room, is associated with. I mean, for the most part, it's a lot of bang rooms. And you can, enjoy it, but if you could capture it and create a cartoon and monetize these people. See, that's the thing about Jazzy and Adams. Everybody here is a voice actor. Everybody here could play the role of a cartoon, It's just a question of how can we create The Simpsons very quickly and affordably or for free. And, it's possible that we could monetize this fucking app and be the only people who can actually create a viable product out of it by force injecting voice actors. And then after people will work with us and read scripts, or they'll just allow the ad hominem ad lib to be recorded, and they just will participate. People will participate if we can actually send them money. That's a fact. But this is the Pepe Meme podcast, you know? The goal is ultimately to take this app and turn it into a cartoon on YouTube and make money from it. Have a kids version and an adult version. Like, I think we could actually create content for children, and create very high value content. You know, I would just, like, if I was to do it immediately, I would just use like the Dhammapada or the Tanya or any kind of spiritual book to create like positive neurolinguistic programming for children and turn it into a cartoon. It's very simple to create children's content. But again, it's a question of how do we create these videos. So, any comments, questions, thoughts, ideas, or opinions?
What's your deal with the Pepe and the frog connection? Like, what do you have? Why do you have that? Like, what's the connection there? What's the link to that?
Because Pepe as a meme is basically evergreen. And it is even a little bit like that Nazi salute, meaning that in America, it doesn't have the same context. So the Pepe meme is technically like an evergreen meme. You can make anything into a Pepe meme, anything. And it implies that it's a meme.
But it has a negative connotation across the board, right?
No, see, that's part of to me, that's part of the inversion of Pepe, where the negative connotation is essentially a you problem, because like in Zen, it's your opinion that it's negative. And it's just not. Because you can use Pepe to transmit positive vibrations. So, and if you spend any time actually looking up Pepe on Instagram, Twitter, Google searches, etc., you will see the most insanely artistic things you've ever seen, and you will see a lot of negative things and a lot of positive things. But that's the essence of reality, is the good and the negative, the positive and the negative. So the Yetzer Hara, the Yetzer Tov. It's just a question of how do you use Pepe? Do you use it in an artistic way for positivity or in an artistic way for negativity? You know, you could say it's subversive, but essentially Pepe is like Pepe God. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all things, and it's hopefully all good, and it's just the creator or the maker that determines the outcome of the Pepe.
Yeah, I have to go watch. There's actually a documentary about Pepe that I ran across on Netflix a while back. I don't know if you know about that, but there's a documentary on the history of Pepe.
Yeah, I know.
I know that the Pepe guy didn't intend for it to become like a Trump thing.
Right. No, he didn't. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, but anyway, the documentary talks about it. I think I didn't watch.
I don't know why it is a Trump thing. I don't understand what is Trumpy about it.
Well, I'm projecting it. Like, I'm wearing a Trump hat in my PTR with the American flag and the Thanos gauntlet on my hand, meaning that there's a mystical aspect to the Pepe. It's a magical aspect to the Pepe.
But then you have Pepe, the actual guy on here as well, who uses the character, and he is just a straight up actual racist. Obnoxious dude.
Yeah.
But Pepe is also just a name. Before Pepe the Frog, there was Pepe the Mexican name. And I think that Pepe, also known as Pepe, I don't think that he evokes the frog. I mean, his picture is of a Mexican loser, you know?
No.
Oh, I thought he's had the frog. In my head, he's had the frog on his PTR before, but maybe I just made that connection. It wasn't real.
Yeah, he's very rarely, I think, if ever, done that. I know, pretty sure over the couple of years I've seen it, but it doesn't really make a difference because, I mean, he's a moron. And the point is that I'm using it in an artistic way. Art to me is a magic word. So just like one or God or you, you know, the Pepe meme seems to create a vibration with people because it's essentially Simpsons. It's a cartoon. And it is this negative connotation, which is, I think, an interesting projection. You project onto Pepe in a way, but Pepe is truly art, and so it's not like I'm going to go Pepe forever or all the time. But I've rebranded a lot of my YouTubes to meme, and because I have this fucking Pepe mask, and it's an essential meme in the library of memes. There's an X account or an Instagram account called the International Database of Memes. And Pepe is a category of memes. So like Elon Musk is big into memes, and this guy Chris on this app sent me this like 300-page book on mnemonic memetics or memetic mnemonics and memes. And so from like a communication perspective, I can utilize Pepe to create memes because I have this $10 mask. But anyways, I just have to go with what I got. And this is my effort to essentially recommunicate, rebrand, and compress more because I want to take documents like the Tao Te Ching or the Shin Shin Ming or the Lao Tzu's or Shuangzi's, the way I want to take philosophy from across the board, Hinduism, Greek, Roman mythology, etc., and then like maybe do some Pepe art and then maybe create other mimetic art outside of Pepe as well. But my rebrand is called memespodcast.com. And I've rebranded all my Instagram, all my YouTube to meme.
I'm with you on the memes. As a father of 2 kids that are 18 years old, I can tell you that the Z generation is meme heavy. Like their entire sense of humor, it's wrapped around memes, and the memes themselves are often pointless to the extent where if I show them like a Far Side comic, a Gary Larson Far Side comic from like my time as being a teenager, they don't think it's funny at all. And then they show me a meme that doesn't make any sense, and they just think it's hysterical. And it reminds me of the way that Bob Dylan's, whenever he was challenged to explain what his lyrics were about, he would always say they're not about anything. Like, I don't know why people keep telling me they need to mean something. They don't mean anything. And he could never convince people they didn't mean something. They always thought there was something deeper. That's what these memes are to these kids. And their sense of humor is like that. Their sense of humor is so, I think it's more advanced than anything before it in the capacity, in the same sense that to me, it seems simple and stupid and pointless. But I think that's because it's more advanced than the simplicity of Gary Larson's comic strips, which was basically, what happened right before this picture or right after this picture is where the humor of those ones always came from. But the memes themselves that my kids laugh at, they don't make any fucking sense at all, and all of them share in thinking they're hysterical. So if you ask my daughter why she thinks it's funny, she answers in the same way that Bob Dylan used to answer about his. She says she doesn't have an explanation for it. She just wants to rewatch it over and over again and laugh at it.
See, I think Pepe is also like a useful therapeutic tool for people who do project negativity onto the Pepe. Because if somebody immediately says, you're an effing racist, because of Pepe, then it opens the opportunity to say, okay, let's talk about words and emotions and how essentially, you've essentially gone to a negative vibration in your communication. Like, why is that? And essentially the racial identity politic and that identification with somebody, I mean, it really goes back to the concept of, self and integration or enlightenment. And so it always becomes like a spiritual conversation to try to get somebody out of their negative emotional state as they project onto the Pepe. So I think it's a useful tool. And in terms of art, it's what I got to go with.
No, I understand your explanation. You actually explained it really well to me. Thanks. I'm particularly kind of resonating on the concept that you said of like the deliberate anti-vibration of what's comfortable for other people on purpose in order to spark reaction. Like it's kind of like the space I've lived in all my life, and it's hurt me quite a bit to have that kind of inherent personality type. But I generally aim for that in the way that I respond to things. And I find my tribe's smaller than an average person's tribe. But the people that get it, and the people that don't hate it. It's really a love or hate thing. There's not a lot of in between. That's what you're going to get with Pepe. That's what I get with myself.
Yeah. I mean, I was just reading the Tanya earlier, which is a Jewish book, philosophy, and it says that, as the in-betweener, it's this Yetzer Hara, Yetzer Tov, good and evil. And really, it's God, the concept of God, which it's really just enlightening, meaning it lightens the load psychologically. It's a useful word tool. And I think a lot of people who don't believe in God, and Simon down there, is you have to essentially understand God lives in the word, which is a vibration and a sound. And God specifically calls out sound as being something super specifically unique in terms of you and wisdom and God. So if you don't study God, I hate to tell you, you're avoiding a very positive vibration. It's a +1.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. People who attempt to find negative aspects of believing in God, I just don't buy the arguments very well. I get that there's people that believe in God that do evil things, but I just don't make that connection in my head. Surely, I mean, one's relationship with God seems to be all positives if it's done correctly.
Yeah, I think my theory holds up really in comparison to this app, because like the hour that I spent reading this morning was so positive, and I learned so many things compared to what I could have listened to be debated on this app, which is like 80% just toxic communication and an inability to have a conversation. This app really is it's such a toxic like echo, really.
Victor on here does that. I don't know if you're aware of him, but he reads books, reads different books on here, and to me it sounds like he's practicing being a voice reader guy for recording audio books and things like that. It's like he uses this to just read and practice that skill set, but then he picks different random topics, and basically you end up leaving that room smarter. It doesn't go back and forth. It's just him reading and everybody in the room listening.
Yeah. I've created a lot of these 15-second and 3-minute reels on YouTube of me reading from like sacred textbooks. They've gotten a lot of views, but very few comments. So it's like, is it really people? Most people aren't even listening. They're just leaving after 4 seconds, that plummets. But there's a way to do a show on here, which is creating a flow state. And I think, if you use these sacred textbooks, you can create flow states for yourself and for the audience. That you can do a show.
I'm kind of waiting for you to have some success, because I'll be honest with you, you put a lot more effort into this than anybody else on here in your own way. And like if I saw you make some traction, it would like make me feel more hopeful about putting some effort into it. But to be honest with you, I'm just repulsed by the idea of putting effort into social media. I just despise the entire the platform, like all platforms, the social media in general. I just really don't enjoy them enough.
Well, like you said earlier, I'm doing it authentically. So it's like there's a great joy in what I'm doing. And believe me, I have a lot of ecstasy. I'm drinking beer, smoking weed, drinking wine, reading from sacred texts. Believe me, it's like hitting super high dopamine in my brain. So I'm getting like a psychotherapeutic response personally from a lot of my work. So I do try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone in that regard.
Yeah, I think you do that for sure. I think you're interesting. You're interesting on here because you're very polarizing as well, but you've actually changed over time. I would say in the beginning you were mean. I would describe you as mean in the beginning, and I don't think you're mean at all anymore. So I don't know why,
no, that's you. But
I don't know why you changed.
That's you. Like, because I like you and you and I communicate effectively, but I create roast rooms where I roast people and I can get very mean because essentially I want to try to like give somebody a big opposite dosage of what they're saying. Meaning like, how can they possibly believe what they're saying? Somebody has to like try to reverse engineer them hard, because they're really saying some stupid shit. I would say I haven't changed per se. I'm still as irascible and immature as I've ever been, but I am trying to change myself in terms of like what I'm listening to. Thus, I'm limiting what I'm saying. Because the moment you start listening and start communicating in one of these irascible rooms, you're sucked right back into the vacuum that is resulting in the non-success. So it's like I have to go into different areas of the abyss to try to find where the golden key is hidden. And these rooms on this app is not where the golden key is. It's generally where I am in the sense that I have books that have keys in it. But all these rooms are essentially like prisons and another cell phone, meaning like it sucks the genie back out of you into this abyss vortex, which is truly going nowhere.
I've been thinking a lot about that very point and how it relates to my habits on here to listen way more than I talk nowadays, and how it could be hurting me to not, how that could be like the worst use of this app whatsoever. Like basically, I might be absorbing the worst without doing anything to complement that from a positive standpoint by listening more than talking.
By listening, you're not reversing out. You're not getting that reverse engineer because you're not pushing back against the toxic stuff that's programming your brain as you're listening.
Yeah, but it's so difficult to push back when it's so fucking difficult, like harsh, just brutal. I just feel like I get tired of getting beat up. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes when I lose my shit on here, when I just let my freak flight fly and it just fucking go bonkers, it's like just start screaming on a voice only app.
Can you hear me?
Attack is to just fucking lose it and scream. I know I'm breaking up. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna break up a second. I gotta get to my Wi-Fi home.
Yeah, Mike, I mean, I've known you a lot of years now. The first time we ever interacted, I remember I was reading Crowley and you were like, wow, and we did like a Crowley reading. That was like my first memory of it.
Yeah, and I went and read a lot of what you call it. I spent a long time reading it. Roman Emperor. What's his name? Starts with an A. Can you hear me? Am I breaking up? Marcus Aurelius. I went and read a lot of Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah. See, all these books are pointing to nirvana. And if you if you can cross that shore and get to that paradise island and hold on to it, maintain it like riding a bicycle, you'll know that when you go into these rooms and you get gaslit, it's like all of a sudden you've washed offshore from this paradise island. And so once you know that paradise island exists, and if you've obtained it, and hopefully you've held on to it, you'll wonder, why in the F am I losing it? Um, you know, is it's just, does it not exist? Or is it's totally conceptual. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of like riding a bicycle. Like, it becomes a discipline, and you become, after you do it thousands of times, you're no longer essentially, it's not you that's doing it anymore. That's what Crowley says in one of his books. It's like you do a thing 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 100. It's no longer you that does it. So it becomes like muscle memory. And I think that's like at the essence of therapy, which truly deals with anger management and then effective communication. And if you can master that, you can become a master like of the self, which essentially means that you've obtained that paradise island. And that is like the riddle of the Sphinx. So, that's why this app is like a proving ground and a test simulator for anger management in a safe space, and why it's okay to fucking lose your shit. Yeah.
It definitely serves that for me. It's and I've improved a lot over it. That's how I'm able to listen more than talk. It really am. I use it absolutely for that.
Yeah, I mean, then when you become the Prince of Peace, you can take that peace and joy to your family, to your friends, and to the real world. And then that's the real value. Like, because you can help actually adjust people's brains by having your brain pre-adjusted, and thus bring real peace to the world, as opposed to clown house, phony peace. Because very few people can really take, I don't know, it's just interesting how in the real world you can essentially help a lot with a positive attitude, because the negative attitude is floating amongst everyone, just about.
Yep. Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna go to work for a bit, but thanks for the chat. Enjoy it. I always enjoy chatting with you.
Okay, take care. Have a good day. Oh, Dr. Zach is back. The Pepe meme movie drew him back like a moth to a candle. We thought we freed you, Zach. We thought you. I was just looking at your chat in the Ultra Derecha room. I am in the. What's going on?
What's up? I've been done many things. I'm continuing to live my life.
Well, have you heard the Shemaya today?
تشيت علينا حتى